So I've been getting into rom-coms lately.
Don't act like it's a
I'm
new
just kidding.
thing.
It's not a new thing. I've actually liked rom-coms for a long time. I love rom-com TV shows.
Let me tell you one of my favorite texts I ever got from you, Hollis. It was randomly on a Saturday night. It's 11 p.m. Hollis just texted me out of nowhere, no context. He says, "Have you ever seen this movie?" It's literally a rom-com. I said, "Yeah, I've went ahead and seen it." And he says, "Yeah, I'm watching it tonight." He's all by himself. He's all by himself on a
You watch it
Saturday night.
alone?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
watch
It was
rom-coms
like
alone?
several months ago. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, sometimes I just get in the mood.
Yeah. Oh.
And I like watching the
Hollis
rom-com
is a
TV
hopeless
shows.
romantic. That's the truth about
I
you.
really like rom-com TV
respect you for
shows.
that, though, bro, for real.
But like, think about it. Like The Notebook, Crazy Rich Asians.
The Notebook.
Two polar
Bad
opposite movies.
Bad movie. Notebook, bad movie. She chooses the wrong guy.
Hold on. Okay.
That's the truth.
We're going to have to talk about that another time.
Welcome to This is Kingdom. This is Grace.
This is Talon.
This is TJ.
This is Hollis.
And this week we're talking about All Will Be Well Because of Temple Covenants by President Henry B. Eyring.
Something that I think is just really naturally true. I don't know why I'm saying that like that, but when you care about someone, you treat them better.
What did you say?
Nice. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
It's fine. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the more important someone is to you, the better you treat them. Usually, that's how it should be, okay? So if you have like a very best friend, usually, unfortunately, or fortunately, you'll treat them better than anyone else you know. And usually, if you love someone, you'll treat them better than like a stranger on the street because you're endeared to them. They're one of the most important people in your entire life. And it's so interesting to me because we're studying the talk by President Eyring, and he says, there is nothing more important than honoring the covenant you have made or may make in the temple. And I think that the majority of the time, we don't necessarily act like that's the most important thing in our entire lives. But I think what's more important to realize is that covenants, I think we tend to look at and we just think of like a two-way promise and then we imagine a promise. I think a covenant, when you think about it, you should be thinking about a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what a covenant represents, which means that a covenant is symbolic to me of the most important person in your life. And if he really is the most important person in your life, you will live differently because of him. You will do different things because of him, because of his importance in your life. And I think that's something that I'm trying to work on in my relationship with him is if I have these covenants with him that are technically showing that he is the most important person in my life, am I living a life that is symbolic of that? Am I representing that well right now?
TJ, you want to say something? What you got?
Okay, this is crazy. But what Grace, what you just said has me thinking this. When I grew up, I think a lot of my people my age struggled with the God that was a boss. You know what I mean? He's that boss that you're kind of scared to talk to, and you just hope that you get everything done so you don't get yelled at. But now, and so that's one extreme, you know what I'm saying? I think now there's an extreme of like, kind of like God is like my homie. You know what I mean? Like God is like a very kind of casual homie friend. And that's kind of an extreme. And I'm not saying either of them are evil. I'm not going to say that right now. Maybe there will be a time where I dig into that more. But I think covenants and understanding that it's a covenant relationship that he wants and understanding what the covenants are and striving to keep them and understanding that builds a relationship with him, I think that bridges the gap. I think that helps us come more in the middle. Because the first one makes us kind of scared of God and the second one gets us a little bit casual. And so I don't think we really experience the power of a covenant relationship with him. But covenants, focusing on this, what President Eyring's talking about, I think brings us back to the middle to have a really actually healthy, powerful, and loving and respectful relationship with God and Jesus.
That was so well described.
That might be one of my favorite things you have ever said, TJ.
I just feel such a relief right now. Like I haven't known how to say that.
No, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was fire.
And really, while you were talking, I was thinking of how often I fall into like if I were to look at my relationship with God, I am the toxic one. Like I am the inconsiderate one. I am the one that falls short. And I think one, we all need to acknowledge like we are that. And that's one of the reasons God is so good because he takes us back over and over. But two, when I realize that I don't want to be that. And more I want to be the person in the relationship that that does give my all. And I don't know why I was just thinking of this experience. I feel like as a husband, I fall short in a lot of ways. I fall short often, you know? But I had this experience like 2 or 3 nights ago that you guys know I love going to bed early. We're actually recording late right now and I'm dying, y'all. I love going to bed early. But Dre had so much homework to do, and she was going to be up till like 11 o'clock, midnight, doing her homework because it was due at midnight. And I wanted to get to bed at like 9 o'clock, but I just had this thought, like, you need to go be with her. And so I got out of bed and I went downstairs and I just sat by her. And it was the coolest thing because it meant so much to her. It was so simple. And I went to bed that night and I was like, oh, that was a good husband moment. Like I felt good. I was like, that was a good moment. And it made me realize that a lot of times when you love someone, the most meaningful things are the things that are a sacrifice, or the things that take more effort, or the things that make you go out of your way. Like those are the moments that you really show your love. And when I think about that with God, it's like, man, yeah, it's easy to do all the comfortable things, but am I being really intentional about showing God when it's not easy? Am I being really intentional about showing my commitment to God when it's not comfortable, when it's not convenient, you know?
And I think that we have the tendency as humans, at least I do, because I have a really hard time with expectations. I don't want people to have expectations of me. And when there's rules or guidelines or like boundaries, I like have the tendency to want to push them and like see like, okay, why do I have this? And is it actually necessary? And what's the purpose here? But I think we can look at God like he's a boss and we can get frustrated about boundaries or rules or expectations or covenants that don't seem to make sense to us. Or we can remember that this is a relationship. We are in a relationship with him, which means that the expectations and the boundaries aren't there because he's our boss. The expectations and the boundaries are there because we are in a relationship with him. And people in relationships get to have expectations for you. If you're dating someone, you get to have the expectation that they're not going to be talking to other people. They're not going to be flirting with other people. If you're in a relationship with someone, you get to have expectations that they will show up for you, that they're going to answer their calls as most as they can. They're going to want to hang out with you. They're going to say nice things about you. They're going to work through things with you. Those are normal expectations. You wouldn't want a relationship like that without expectations. It would fall apart. It would be a mess. You wouldn't like being in that relationship. And sometimes we forget that God is the same way. This is a relationship with him. That's what we have. A covenant means a relationship with him. And the relationship with him comes with expectations, as all good relationships do. That is not something that you need to like hate or be angry or frustrated about. That's something that you can look and say, wait, we both love each other so much that we are willing to sacrifice and live differently because of the other person, because we love each other, because this is a healthy relationship.
Wow, I'm just learning from all of y'all right now. This has been, I feel like, just so cool for me to hear how we can strengthen this relationship and how expectations are so crucial in that. I think it kind of just changes everyone's perspective that relationships, it's okay for it to be hard. It's okay for it to have expectations. It's okay for it to have a balance of how we treat it. I mean, we treat those things differently the more we love it. And I'm just wondering, how do all of you guys treat God different than other relationships in your life?
Okay, so the thing that's hit me as you guys are talking is the parallels between having a high level relationship with God and having a high level relationship with someone that you're pursuing. You know what I mean? Whether it's dating or whether it's marriage. Because when you're dating or you're married, you totally have the option to kind of go with the flow. And I've been stuck in this even with Lo, where we just kind of do the dinner and the movie a lot and just kind of chill. And now we got Titan at home. So sometimes it's easier to just stay home and not get a sitter. But man, we've been talking about, like, if we want to be high level, we need to plan ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like President Oaks gave in that talk that one time about dates: planned for, paid for, and paired off. Right. And I think it's the same with God. We can get casual in that relationship with God in dating and in courting and building a relationship with God in that way too. We can get casual in the temple. And it's so funny to me because at first with the temple appointments, I got so annoyed because I'm like, wow, like there's never time. We got to plan ahead now. But dude, it's letting us plan a good date with God. You know what I'm saying? It's helping us plan ahead. It's helping us block out time because God wants a high level relationship with us. He wants high level communication. So why wouldn't he ask us to sacrifice a little bit more, like Talon's saying, to pay the price and to plan ahead and get paired off with God, not just to bring him in as some casual friend, man. because God can do so much more for us than a friend can do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like if you put little effort in, it's just like anything in life, like you will get little out of that relationship. And I just keep thinking of when Dre and I got married, something you need to know about me is I hate rings. You all rock all your rings. I hate them. I've never worn them. I tried to wear CTR ring when I was like 8, but I couldn't do it. It lasted for like half a day. I was like, no, I'm not a ring person. And so when Dre and I got married, I wasn't wearing a ring. And I was like, I'm not going to wear a ring. And we actually kind of argued about it a lot. She's like, why are you not wearing a ring? I'm like, I'm married to you. I'm like, I'm not gonna flirt with anyone. Like, I'm married to you. I know it. It doesn't matter if other people know because I'm committed to you, you know? Then we went back and forth until all of a sudden I realized my mindset was, why do I have to? The second my mindset shifted to what more can I do to show her my love, wearing a ring was the easiest thing ever. And now I don't go out without my ring. And it's a hairband. It's kind of dumb, but I like it because it's small. It's Dre's hairband.
Standard.
But I will always wear it because I'm no longer thinking, why do I have to blank? Why do I have to do this or that? I'm thinking, what more can I do to show my love to her? And I think when we have that same shift with God of why do I have to this? Why do I have to that? And we change it to what more can I do to show God my love? It's like, yeah, like I'll wear a symbol. I'll like do what you need me to do. I'll say what you need me to say because I want to do anything I can to show you my love.
That's so interesting you say that, Talon. I went to this, like when I was in college, there's this business networking meeting. This guy gets up and says, the best piece of advice I can give you is every room you go into, do not ask yourself, what can I get from these people, but what can I give to these people? And I feel like we take that same mentality with God in our relationship with him and stop expecting things from him, but go in every single day saying, what can I give to God? What can I sacrifice for him? What can I do that will make him proud? I think that'll change the whole trajectory of our relationship with him. Instead of expecting blessings from him, live in a way where you just want to bless and be proud of the relationship you have with your Savior.
And what I love is what he teaches us in scripture. It's one of my favorite verses. It's Corinthians 2:9, where he says, ear hath not heard, or eye have not seen, neither hath ear heard, neither can the heart of man comprehend the things that God has prepared for those that love him. And when you go in with that mindset, how can I love him? What can I give to him? The thing is, God will give you way more than you ever give him. Like he has things prepared for you. He will give you such beautiful things that you can't even imagine. It will always be a lopsided relationship. And the more you give, that relationship is going to bless your life so much.
We get to be the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
tender.
Sometimes we forget, you know, that in all reality, when we look at covenants, yeah, maybe there's going to be some expectations. Maybe the relationship is going to require something of you.
And it's different from what other people are doing.
Yeah, and maybe you're going to have to live in a way that you don't normally live. Maybe you're going to have to do things that you've never done before. Maybe you're going to have to change habits that you never even thought twice about before. But don't you forget that in that relationship, you are not doing that because of a boss. You are doing that because of someone you love. And when someone you love asks you to do something, you respond differently. But also, we are the luckiest ones in that relationship.
100%.
No matter what we do, God will always outdo us. God will always love us more and love us extra and love us bigger than we could ever imagine. That is why covenants matter so much to me, is because we have a God that loves us more.
There goes my heartbeat, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep. Please come back now. That's crazy because you losing your sleep right now. There goes my mind race, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now. I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see you are the reason.
See you next week.